Are we live yet? It just says going live. You're live! Woohoo! We did it! Yay!
Hey, everybody.
Hello!
Hello.
Good evening from Belgium. How are you, everybody?
Hey, everybody.
We should say it in all different languages. Do you know different languages to say hello? Guten Tag, meinen Herren und Dames. If my German lesson, I think that's how I said it. Bonsoir, mesdames et messieurs. Do you know any languages?
No. At least I'm honest.
Goedenavond iedereen. Well, I speak 3 languages. Well, no, 4. I speak German, French, Dutch, and English. And I did 7 years of Latin, but don't ask me to do any more Latin. Hola, hola in Spanish. I know that one. Hola.
Hola. Yeah, hola.
Any other languages that you know?
No.
In Australia, it'll be good morning, mate. I'm sorry. We're going a little cuckoo over here, so we're having this heat wave in Belgium. So today, when we looked outside in the garden, it was like 40 degrees Celsius, which is for some countries very normal. But for our country, we're not used to temperatures that high, and no one has air conditioning in this country. Not even the stores, so all the chocolate is melting in the stores. You can't even buy it because it's just like mushy. And we've got a little fan here, a little blow fan, but that's it. That's all we got. So I don't know if we're going to be able to sleep tonight because it's so freaking hot. But anyway, welcome, guys. So the reason we wanted, Gerald's going to read all your texts. The reason we wanted to come on is because a lot of you know me and Gerald from our live chats in Facebook, in our Facebook group, Rolling with Emma, but not everyone has Facebook, so we decided to give it a go on YouTube to kind of reach all of you guys who don't have Facebook. And so we just wanted to have like an introduction. This is sort of like a little tryout, and I know a lot of people know me from the videos, but not everyone on YouTube hasn't had a chance to really get to know us personally. And you know, unlike some people on Facebook, they've really gotten to know us. Gerald's a big goofball, so am I. Maybe really quickly for people who don't know who I am an intuitive medium. But I'm also a spiritual coach, a life coach. I used to teach meditation classes, mindfulness classes, things like that. And Gerald and I have a spiritual center here in Belgium. Gerald is an energy healer. He has his own technique.
Yes, I do.
It's not Reiki. It really is his own kind of way where he takes you on a meditative journey. And he literally goes for a walk with your spirit, with your soul, and he helps you to release. He really is releasing the pain from the source is what he's doing. So he's helping you to let go. So the energy healing is not just physical, because when it's a physical healing, people will heal the physical, but if the mental and the spiritual aspect behind it is not released or is not dealt with, then it's going to continue to come back. Gerald tries to help you to let go of that during meditative state. So it's really, you create your own little vortex where he goes for a hike and then he sees spirit guides, and you've seen all different kinds of, he's seen animals come forward to help him with the healing. And it's like every person experiences something different. It's
extremely different because we're all the same, but we're all so different, and that's what makes us all so unique and so special in this world is that we all connect in certain ways, and we all feel it and experience in different ways too as well. And some things, some people need certain things, and some people don't. And some people need a little bit more guidance, a little bit more help. It all depends on the person, and it all depends how open you are to accepting and receiving energy. Because don't forget, as a healer, people always think when you're a healer, they're like, I just put my hands on you, heal with my healing hands. You heal.
Lightning bolts shooting out of my hand.
No, I'm not the emperor, okay? For Star Wars. I wish I was, but no, I'm not.
Yeah, we could be. Maybe when we keep evolving, right? You're going to become a Jedi. That's Gerald's. He really wants to become a Jedi.
I could.
you know, with the power of the mind.
But the thing is, though, is this.
You never know where we're evolving,
Yeah,
right?
absolutely.
I think that's our future, to be honest. What do you think?
Absolutely, probably. I hope so.
Yes!
That would be
These
very
are
cool.
not the droids you're looking for.
No.
This is not the bill that needs to be paid.
Nope. No, but the thing is, though, is when it comes to, I help you to help yourself, though. You know, because that's the part. We have the ability to help ourselves. We just don't know how to do it a lot of times, though. Because we always think that we don't have the ability or the gift to do so. But we all do, because it's all inside of us, though. It's all about reassuring and tapping into it. Once we start tapping into it, the possibilities are unlimitless to what we can do. You know, so don't think you don't have the possibility of doing it, though. It's just about, you know, learning and discovering what works for you, but what's going to work for helping other people too as well when you're doing this as well too. And that's something we all have to learn as we're going in this spiritual awakenings in ourselves and each other.
And I think that counts for everything, doesn't it?
Absolutely.
Even when I do readings, you have to be open and really surrender to the process, because the moment you walk into a reading with a whole bunch of expectations and demands, you're actually blocking the communication signal. You're blocking that frequency energy because you're afraid that, you know, if I don't control the situation, then maybe I won't get the answers that I want or need. So when you go into a reading with a sense of, I want to hear this, I want to know an answer to that. All my paperwork is flying off, by the way. You know, then you're actually gonna really limit the channeler, because your signal that you're sending out, put something on there. All my paperwork is flying off because of the fan. You know, when you go into a session, you really just have to just surrender and say, hey, I'm going to hear whatever I need to hear at that moment. And then I've noticed that readings really go fluently, and all of the questions have been answered without them having to stress, will these questions be answered? So I think when you go into an energy healing, when you go into a reading, anything you do in life, surrender to the process, and it's going to go the way it needs to go. That the universe has got your back, even though I know many people don't believe this, and it doesn't always feel that way. 99% of the time, it doesn't feel like that way. But it really is a surrendering process, and just really having that faith and that belief system that we're here to learn, and whatever is going to be beneficial for us will come in our journey, and that we don't just kind of get lost in the emotionality that really comes from everything. So surrendering is really a good process to everyone. I was noticing, honey, that somebody said, I never let Gerald talk. That's true. I admit that. That's because I'm an Aries and he's a Cancer, and I like to take charge. I'm a leader, a teacher, and Gerald is a healer. So he likes to kind of, you know, he likes to explain things, but I kind of always overpower him. It's true, but he's used to that after 15 years being together. You know, we work great this way. So he's used to me taking charge.
Well,
hello from Australia.
hello.
Good morning, mate. I like saying that. We've been watching this show. What was the show called? Marriage at First Sight, Australia.
Yeah, Blind Married at First.
Oh my God, it's so funny. People do the weirdest things.
They do the weirdest things, seriously.
Anyway, so I'm not doing any personal channelings at this moment, but we are here for you. And if you have a spiritual question that could help everyone to understand certain things, or if you have a personal question about us, we are an open book, so don't be afraid to ask anything. Hi, Brooke. Yes, Elvis is one of your guides. It is pretty amazing.
It's in the 90s here.
But wow, you guys are flying by like crazy.
Yeah, I know.
South Africa. Hello.
Okay.
Israel. Do you know about Bashar's prime radiant? I know about Bashar, but
yes.
I'm not as I don't know all the details. I just know that he is smart. No, I really resonate with what he says. It's going so fast, we can barely keep up here. Just curious if you meet person and they had someone recently deceased. Do you hear them? Like, for example, the other mediums. Okay, the mediums on TV that just walk up to people and say, hey, there's a dead person standing here. Yeah, that's orchestrated. I don't believe that that's possible. Why? The person needs to be open to receive first. It does happen that in private in my shower that I receive messages, and then I share those with the messages from Beyond blog, where I just get random strangers in, but it usually goes through my guides. It's usually my guide Eric who comes in and says, there's this person here who just wants you to send through a message. And I usually don't get a lot of details. I usually just get a name. Sometimes they show me how they died and what the message is, and then I just send it out to you guys, and then I hope that it will reach the right person. So when it comes to those TV shows, I'm not saying the mediums can't channel, I'm not saying that, but keep in mind that those shows are so cut and put together and orchestrated and edited, and you know, they're you know.
We were actually out of the show for The Walking Dead, actually, I remember, in Amsterdam, remember?
No, we're talking about mediums.
But I know, but we
went to a medium once a long time ago. What was his name? Derek Ogilvy or something?
Yeah, Derek Ogilvy, yeah. I remember that now.
We were like, yeah. You were very disappointed. Yeah. This was way before I ever started this. This was like at the beginning when we just got married. Yeah. I think it was like the first year we got married.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
And we went to see his show, and we
were
very disappointed.
I was.
He basically, everything that came out, people were like, nobody really resonated with any of it. And then he just disappeared, didn't he? We never saw him again. So, I don't know. You know, I'm just saying, be careful with what you see on TV, because it's always edited, it's put together. There are teams there that do research on people. So, unfortunately, I feel that they give the real mediums a bad name, but that's just my personal opinion. It's not a judgment, because I do feel that everyone has purpose, and everybody does the things that they do for a reason. The universe has mysterious ways of working things, and what they're doing is they're actually making spirituality accessible. They're making it like a normal thing that you know, oh yes, talking to spirits. So I think in that aspect they do a great job in opening people up to the possibility of, yes, there might be still life after death. Yes, we might be able to channel and connect to spirits. But again, there's only a few that I feel are very
good question.
Are really channeling. Okay, I'm gonna probably get shot for this. But I'm not gonna mention any names. But I'm just saying, you know, just see it as a way for the universe to really make people used to channeling, and then they will be guided to the right channeler for them. That's how you have to see it.
How do you really open up your mediumship abilities? Good question.
How do you open up your mediumship abilities? It's really about understanding that we're all channeling 24/7, 7 days a week. We're all channeling. It's called intuition, okay? And it starts from there. Now, I think what's important to understand is that everybody channels in their unique way. For example, I'm an intuitive medium. So what does that mean? A lot of people think they see my videos that I see spirits with my eyes, and I hear voices talking to me in my ear, and I am repeating word for word what's being said. When I channel private sessions, I use my intuitive medium capabilities. And what is that? I basically first get a whole bunch of feelings. So when they communicate to me, it's emotional. And then those feelings start to turn into visualizations in my mind. Kind of like it's in my third eye. It's like daydreaming, like your eyes are open, but you're seeing pictures flash by. I see a little like YouTube videos that flash by. And then usually after that, after the visualization, I start to also get conversations in my mind. It's kind of like me thinking to myself. But the conversations are going so fast that I can't keep up. So that's really how it starts for me, is feelings first, then come visualizations, then come the thoughts that come with it. And when I do the celebrity interviews, I talk to that person for almost 2 weeks straight. So I really get to know their energy. I practice with them. And then when I do the celebrity interviews, I trans channel, which means that I allow that spirit to partially take over my body and my speech. And that's why they really talk through me. So that's how I channel. I have 2 different ways. I have trans channeling, which is kind of like a semi-trans channel. And then I do my intuitive channeling, which is through feelings, thoughts, and visualizations in my mind. But then you have people who really hear spirits. Then you have people who really see them with their eyes. I see spirits with my eyes, but I don't see them like you and me. I see little sparkly lights that kind of float by, and it almost looks like dust that's like reflecting in the sunlight. But I see it when it's dark too, so it can't be sunlight. So when I see those sparkles in front of me, I kind of know that, oh, somebody's here. And then I open myself up and I try to connect. That's kind of how I do it. But it starts with trusting your intuition. It starts with creating and adopting and really embodying the belief system that they are talking to you 24/7 nonstop. 90% of your thoughts are not yours. 90% of your thoughts is your higher self communicating, your spirits, your angels communicating, sometimes even other entities communicating to you, trying to help you and guide you. So when you feel fearful thoughts come in, or you have fearful emotions, know that that's usually your human self, because spirits have no fear. There's no fear up there. Only creative thinking. Sometimes you get this idea in your head and it comes out of nowhere. I remember when you started meditating, Jared started getting all these ideas in his head, and he was like, stop it, because he was finally opening up to that connection. So it really starts with that. One, everyone channels. Even if you're not sure you're channeling, you need to know that. You need to own that belief system. You need to own it, and you need to start to express gratitude for it. Hey, good morning, guys. Are you ready for another day? Hey, let me know what you think. And then you'll hear in your head, mostly you'll hear, yeah, we're ready. How about you? You ready? And then you have to really acknowledge that, even though it might sound like you. It might sound like you're making it up. You still have to acknowledge it and say no, because 90% of your thoughts are not yours. So acknowledge that communication. And the more you acknowledge that, and the more you start trusting what you feel instead of what you think, because most of their guidance goes through emotions. It goes through those gut feelings, those intuitive feelings. So you really have to start trusting what you feel. And I've always been a person, and I think you too, who followed their gut.
Yes.
When we met online 15 years ago, and like a week later, he asked me to be his girlfriend, and we had never met. And like a few days later, he called me for the first time and said, do you want to marry me? And I said, yes. I mean, we've always been that way. It's like, shit, it does not make sense, but I'm going to do it anyway because it feels right. And so we've always lived our life that way. And because that intuition was always very developed within us, it's just a lot easier for me to trust. So that's really what it is. The foundation is the knowing and the embodying of the belief system that you're already channeling, that they're talking to you nonstop. That way you start to build up a trust. You start to express gratitude and validation to the universe. Yes, I'm receiving your message. And the more you say, yes, I am, the more the universe says, yes, you are. And it's going to send you bigger and more, more synchronicities and more messages that you're going to be like, okay, you'll see a license plate go by that says, love yourself, things like that. You know, they will send you messages through music on your radio while you're driving to work, thoughts, visualizations, daydreams. They're constantly communicating to you. So acknowledging that only opens that up even more. You're basically saying to the universe, I am connecting, and the universe will say, yes, you are, because the universe will give you more of what you're sending out. So that communication will grow bigger and bigger. And then it's really about trusting yourself. It's really about having faith that no matter what comes out of you, no matter what comes out of your mouth, you know, there's a reason you're saying it. Even if it doesn't make sense to you, even if it might not make sense to the person yet that you're sending it to, there's a reason why you're saying that. And sometimes they say things through you in order to guide the other person in a different direction. You know, even pissing a person off might have been very intentional, because that person needed to be pissed off in order to go in a different direction. I love my husband because he's so cute. Yeah, I'm a big talker. But anyway, I think that's the biggest thing. And then it just kind of grows from there. And then, I mean, a great way to test your intuition is to take a random picture online. You pick a biography, don't read the biography. Pick a random picture, you look at the picture, and you write down everything you think, feel, see, hear. You just write it all down. When you look at that person on the picture, what do you feel? This is a soft person, this is a hard person, this is a mean person, this was a sweet person. You know, I feel like it's books, something with books. You know, you write it all down, and then you can check the biography and see how many aspects you might have right. So that's a great, fun way of checking your intuition and making it grow. The more you practice, the more you're going to notice that you're getting better and better and better at reading that energy. And when you can read energy, you can communicate to spirit, because spirit always communicates in an energetic frequency. It really is like music waves. Okay, that's really how it is. You can't see them, but they're there. And you're just the radio. So they really communicate to you with an energetic frequency. Your whole physical body and your spiritual body is absorbing and receiving that signal, and then translates it in a way that works for you. So that'll be you're either clairsentient, you know, you're clair-knowing, you're clairvoyant, you're clairaudient, you know, or it could be a mix of all these things together. So it's really about trust, believe, and validate to the universe that you are constantly, nonstop communicating. That's where it starts. And then we can build up from there. Go for it, honey.
Okay, this is from Emma. Best life advice you've been given? Good question.
I'm going to let Gerald take that one.
Thank you. I think the best advice I've ever been given in my life, though, was when I went in the military. And it was through one of my, my best friend who I met when I was in the military. He said to me, because when I first went in the military, I was very young, about 18 years old, was very inexperienced. I didn't understand and know a lot of things. Everything was kind of new to me, my surroundings, everything like that. And he said to me, I think the best advice I ever got from him was, have fun, enjoy life, live life to the fullest, though, because he always lived life to the fullest. He always made me do things that I normally would have never ever done. And it's like he took me cliff diving once. I would have never gone cliff diving, to be personally honest with you, because I just can't swim. I'm not a swimmer. I'm not afraid of heights, but I just can't damn swim and stuff. But he gave me the courage to want to do that, though. He gave me the courage to want to have fun and explore different things, though. And I think because he did that, though, it made me really want to experience and explore different things that I never got a chance to do. And I think it really is what helped me. So that was one thing that really stuck with me as well. And I've kind of gone with that. I've kind of lived my life that way since then. So
I think for me, my biggest, it's kind of more like a life motto is, this is all temporarily. It's all a virtual reality. So have fun. Who gives a shit if it works or not? Try it, experience it, and continue to grow. That's how I live my life now, because I was stuck in victim consciousness for so long. I was stuck in a suicide mode for very long. until I met Eric, and Eric came in during my meditation. I started meditating, and all of a sudden Eric showed up, which I had never communicated with, and he just said, "What the fuck are you so scared about?" So, ever since he's been talking to me in my head, he's always like, "Who gives a shit? Just have fun with it." And the more fun I have with it, the more I stop worrying about it. The more things flow very naturally and just always seem to work out anyway, even though sometimes we do stress about it. A lot of times it'll come out. And if it doesn't work out, then my next thought is, oh, well, maybe there's something better out there for me, or maybe just wasn't good for me. Maybe this is not part of my growing process. So I really have a lot easier now time to kind of push negativity things away by just kind of saying, fuck it. It's my motto in life, fuck it. It took me all over the world. It brought me to him. If I would have followed my mind when he asked me to marry me,
very true.
My mind was saying, are you fucking kidding me? You've never met him. He could be, I don't know what. What if you guys don't match? What if you guys don't even like each other in person? And my heart was saying, yay! So I followed my heart. And look what.
What's not like? I'm a likable person.
Well, I had never met you. You had never met me. He's only seen a picture of me.
Sure.
When you meet each other online, and he's in a war zone because you were in Iraq at the time.
Yep.
And I was at home just being bored and missing America because I had just came back from America for 2 or 3 years. I really missed the States. It's just weird. And people around him were like, are you crazy? You don't know this girl. And Gerald said, yes, I do. I know her. I feel it. So we followed our hearts, and it always led us to a good place. And shit kept happening. Shit happens. It's life, But how you deal with it and how you look at it can make a world of difference in how you continue your tomorrow. So, and I think with our 2 kids who have autism,
that's very true.
They taught us you're better living in the now because we don't know what tomorrow is going to bring with them. So they are teaching us to live one day at a time. And although we do have dreams and wishes, we really are kind of living one day at a time, knowing that what we send out today will create our tomorrow. So make sure that you send out the right energy. Make sure that you send out those right vibrations, because the law of attraction is real, or whether some people want to deny that or not, but you have to apply it. And that means every day living your dream, even though it's not there yet, even though it's not been realized yet, you already have to live it. And that's the hard bit, because it's hard for us humans to live it when we don't have it. But if you can dream of it, then you will conceive it.
Okay, which one you got? Please tell me, what does a dream of a deceased brother mean?
It sounds to me like a brother. Your brother is just visiting, just saying hello. That's it. Usually they will come in dreams, but the problem is with dreams is that our conscious mind can manipulate it. So if we're fearful, or let's say somebody died, and we feel guilty about it, or we feel fearful about, spirits visiting us, then that dream can be manipulated by your own mind. So when you do have a dream, just be happy to receive whatever message comes, and just say, I'm ready to receive. And then see what they tell you.
Okay. All right. From Julie, this question is for Jill. Okay. What led you to become an energy healer? Good question. Well, first of all, it was my wife that convinced me to be a healer and stuff. She convinced me, because she always said I had something very special in my hands, though. And I was kind of like, I guess,
Well, let me explain that. I feel energy. And when Gerald from the beginning, when when my feet would hurt or my knees would hurt or my hands would hurt, I had carpal tunnel on both hands. I would just have Gerald hold my hand for like 5-10 minutes, and he'd be watching TV, and he would just hold my hand. So he really wasn't even focused on what he was doing, but just him holding my hands would take the pain away. And that's how and it really felt, I could feel the energy working, but that's just because I'm super sensitive to energy. So, but I convinced him. Continue, honey.
Yeah. Well, then I kind of just started I started practicing a little bit. I practiced on my my mother-in-law's a hairdresser. She had a really bad migraine, so I practiced on her. And I realized that I had the ability to heal somebody, but the problem was I didn't know how at the time period when I first started to be able to not absorb their energy. Because we always forget as healers, though, is when you practice healing, though, when you're doing it, though, you have to be careful to set these boundaries to make sure you don't absorb someone else's energy when you're trying to help them help themselves. So you have to learn how to balance yourself out to not let that happen, though. So I had to learn and practice and find ways how to balance my energy out to not absorb their energy when I was doing their healing, though, which was hard at first, though. So then I kind of started learning different methods and different techniques to teach me how to do it, though. So I started practicing a lot more, and the more I practiced, the better I got at it, though. And the more I did it, the more I started learning not only for myself personally, but I started learning from other people as well too, and not only how to help other people help themselves as well too in their journeys. So it's all about, it's a process, it's about discovering it, realizing, do you have the ability, and if you do, how to tap into it, and it's like that. And that's really the trick you have to learn, and like I said, we're all healers, though. We're all healers in our own ways. We all realize it, though. Just talking to somebody and just listening to someone and listening to their problems is a form of healing, because then you're letting out whatever is bothering you in your life, and you're letting it out, and that is a form of healing, as well. And we always forget that. We always think, you have to, go to this or go to this. We all have the ability to heal. It's all about finding what works for us and what works for helping other people in their lives, though, too. That's what we have to remember. But we all have the ability inside of us. It's all about tapping into it and discovering it, and discovering what we're good at. What are our strengths? What do we like to do? What are we passionate about? And once we find what we're passionate about, then we have the ability not to only heal ourselves, but to heal each other as well, and to teach other people as well. Because remember, you are the teacher and the student of our lives. You're constantly teaching, and you're constantly learning as well too, whether you realize it or not. You always are.
Vicki, you said I'm 38 and worry about my biological clock and financial stability to be able to start a family. Will my husband and I have a child one day? Well, anytime we want to manifest anything, first of all, know and understand that you're in control of your journey. You're the creator of this journey. You write it, you design it, you direct it, you produce it, you watch it because your higher self is watching your little homemade video. And so what does that mean? It means that every time you stay fearful towards this, you're sending out a fearful energy. You're constantly staying in that fearful vibration of lacking a child. And whenever you stay in that vibration of lack, you can only attract more lack. So what is very important is to surrender to the understanding that, hey, if I'm supposed to have a baby, it's going to happen. I don't need to worry about it. It will happen if it's meant to be. To really surrender to that knowing that everything happens with purpose and intention, and to really surrender the fear, because the more you stay in fear, the more you will attract more experiences that will continue that fear, because that's just how the law of attraction works. So release the worry. Know that whatever needs to happen will happen, and it will be fine and dandy as is. And just know that the universe has your back, and that whatever you want to achieve, you can, if you just know that it's already so. You have to live in that vibration that it's already so, and you have to have that faith that it is so. That's really, that's really how to do it. Anything is possible. This is your journey, and you can. We make certain intentions, what people call spiritual contracts, but you can change that with every second of the day, with what you feel, what you send out, what you think. So release the fear and continue to reside in a constant vibration of knowing that it's fine. Everything will happen as is, as it should be. Let's see here. She's so bossy, puts you off listening. Not bossy, just excited. But thanks for stopping by. What's up with that ringing in our ears? Yeah, when I first started channeling, I started the ringing in my. I had that too. I had ringing in my ears, and then I knew a spirit was coming in. So that was their little signal to let me know, hey, somebody's here. And then I was like, okay, I'm aware somebody's here. Now I'm opening up my vibration. So ringing could be the beginning of an awakening process. I see sparkles and huge orbs of color. Good.
Very cool.
That means you are seeing energy. Okay. Continue to work on that. Continue to be able to not control it, but guide it. Ask the sparks, ask the orbs to do certain things. Don't tell them what to do, but ask nicely and see what you can do together. Why do I see colors during meditation? Purple, green, and gold. Okay, you saw that too a lot. So
yes, I did.
When you see colors during your meditation, what you're really seeing is the colors of your aura. And you will notice that every day, if you do see colors, that they can switch, they can change. So write down the colors that you see and go and see, look up what the colors mean. Purple is usually a sign that you are opening up your pineal gland, that you're opening up your spiritual connection. Green and gold, I think green is heart chakra.
Mm-hmm.
But look it up. So the colors that you're seeing is actually the colors of your aura.
Yes.
Okay, so look up and then it will tell you, you'll be able to see what state your chakras and your energy field is in. And it can give you tips on advice on where you are, how you're developing, and so on and so forth.
It's like when you see if you see like purple or a developer, it's like a third eye. That's your third eye. You open up your third eye.
It's opening up. Yeah, see purple. You used to see a lot of indigo blue.
Yes.
I remember that.
Yeah.
Gerald used to saw.
And that's usually right around this area here. You see that.
Yeah, it's the throat chakra.
Yeah.
So it just means speaking up.
Yeah.
Can't happen. He married me. All right.
Okay, we got here else.
I try to see the silver lining and everything to be positive in order to bring on more positiveness. Yes, there's a silver lining anywhere.
Yes.
And if shit hits the fan, just think of this. It's only temporarily, people.
Do you know anything about being a
death doula? A death doula is somebody who helps people transition during the transitioning process. It's actually a very noble thing. You actually help people transition. So I was told I am one. Well, maybe they were trying to tell you that you were that you're transitioning souls after they've passed on. But a death doula is somebody who's still with the person while they're alive and then helps them transition and helps the family around that person to deal with the death in a comfortable way. So it's not really a death doula, but I think what they wanted to tell you is that you are what my dad does in his sleep. My dad, he helps spirits who are stuck, who can't find their way home, to transition. So that might be something. Can Gerald do healing readings on Skype? Yes, he does.
I do them on Skype, actually.
Most of them are on Skype because space is an illusion, distance is an illusion, energy is always here and now. So really, no matter where you live, energy healing can take place.
And what you have to remember when it comes to energy healing too is that you can, energy healing is about being able to connect with the energy, connect to it, understand it, communicate with it. But also important thing about energy healing is visualization. Visualization is very important when it comes to being a healer as well too, though. That's like that stuff. So that can help you as well too. So that's why it is very possible to do it from a distance as well, whether you're in person or whether you do it over the internet as well. So it can be done.
Somebody loves my blast. Thank you. What are the right ways to awaken your psychic abilities? Meditation. Now, the first step is acknowledging that you're already connecting, that you're already communicating. Meditation helps you to calm the mind, which creates space in the mind for more clear reception of guidance and communication. But yes, meditation is, I will always recommend meditation because it's not only good for opening up abilities, but it's also good to restore your physical health because it helps with so much stuff. It goes fast, doesn't it?
Hi there, my best two passed last summer. I didn't have a message from them. I miss them a lot. I cannot communicate. Oh, okay. Claudia, huh? Should I answer this question?
Well, you're not a channeler. Do you have a message from her loved one? Because that's what she's asking.
No, but I could probably give her advice to maybe help her do it because I had to learn how to do it myself a little bit.
I think just talk to him.
Yeah, just talk to him. Just be able to talk to him.
Talk to him. Take a pen and paper.
Yeah.
Take a pen and paper. Take a little notepad. Okay, take a pen. You say, hello, I love you, I miss you, and just keep writing and see what comes out. Okay, they will manipulate the pen to make you write things. Even if you're thinking it, don't worry about that. That means they're putting those thoughts in your head.
Thank you, Donna.
I had a session with Gerald and it was very nice and calm.
Oh, thank you, Donna.
Good. I have trouble meditating, staying focused. Any advice?
Ooh, I had a problem with that when I first started meditating. When I first started trying to meditate, I was sitting there. I was like, yeah, I'm meditating stuff. It took me forever, and I said, oh, this crap doesn't work. It's just a pain in the ass. And what you have to remember when you start meditating, though, is we have a hard time being able to shut our brains off, right? And we want to shut our brain off. But the problem is you can't shut your brain off, though, because your brain is always constantly thinking. You can never shut that off. What you have to do is, it's like a cell phone, right? You see the image, right? You look at it, you observe it, and you pass by the away. And so that's what you do. But a lot of people tend to go into it and stuff and continue to keep focusing on it. What you have to do when you meditation state stuff, try to find something that's going to work for you. Like say a mantra to yourself, or like do like count down. So it helps you calm, or focus on your breathing though. These kind of things can help you when you want to meditate. Like when I used to get really upset, I used to get really angry, and stuff like that. I used to take a step back, I'd close my eyes, and I would count down from 10 to 1. And while I was doing that, I was focused just solely on my breathing though. And the more and more I started doing that though, the more and more I was able to relax. And then before I knew it, I was able to go into that unattained state because I had the ability to let go. It's all about letting go, because you're never going to be able to shut this off. This never shuts up, ever, and it never will. And it's like that. So all you can do is basically learn to calm yourself, okay? And try different things. One thing might work for you, but not work for the person. Find what's going to work for you and try different things, though. And the more you keep doing, keep practicing, the better you'll get at it.
Yeah,
I think remember
what you're saying is a good point there. It's about trying different things. Some people will do great with meditation music. Some people will do great with guided meditation. Some people will do great with a mantra. Some people just like to count. I remember Gerald used to say, I would count 10, 1, you know, you would just count, didn't you?
Yeah.
Whenever he was distracted, he would just go back to 1, 2, 3 in his head. Some people just focus on their breath. Some people focus on their bodies. But I think what's important to understand is that give yourself some slack. Don't get upset with you. Don't get frustrated. Don't get annoyed. Whenever you feel your focus disappearing, try and bring it back. Even if you have to do it 100 times, keep doing it. And the more you do it, and I think what's routine and structure is important, to always do it around the same time, to really kind of make it part of your daily routine, just like brushing your teeth. We never forget to brush our teeth, so don't forget to meditate. What happens is you become used to it, and the more you refocus and refocus and refocus, the easier you're going to notice that it's going to go less and less. Your mind's going to go off less and less, because you're literally reprogramming your mind to stay in the now moment. See, meditation is not about silencing your monkey mind. Meditation is about being present, 100% present in the now moment. And the only way you can be present in the now moment is by focusing on what you are doing at the moment that you're doing it. And in that moment, you are meditating. And so you focus on your music that's playing, or you focus on your breath, or you focus on a mantra, which is what they call transcendental meditation. You know, it's really about trying to stay in that moment and being gentle and kind with you. Because really, when you meditate, you're the doctor and the patient at the same time. So when you do see thoughts come in, observe them, acknowledge that they are part of you, but then you tell yourself, yes, I see them, but right now I am, I'm not working on them. That's for another time. You really just kind of let them flow by. I see them, I acknowledge that they're mine, but right now I'm on vacation. Okay, right now you're taking a break, not right now. So you just see them as little clouds that are passing by. You see them, but they are fading away again. Bye. So that's really what it is. Be kind, have self-discipline to keep doing, even if it's hard, because I remember Gerald had a hard time at the beginning too. Oh, yeah. But once it started going, boy, once you get there, it's like, woo, you wake up and, what used to be 5 minutes seemed like an eternity. You wake up after 2 hours and go, shit,
And I think another thing
all time fades.
And I think you have to remember there's different ways and forms. You don't have to just sit there and be like this and keep your eyes closed. There's different ways to meditate too. Just standing under the shower and just feeling the water, and becoming back one with yourself though is a form of meditation. You just running on a track and field, just running, and you're just running and running.
You focus on just that.
Exactly.
Meditation is not about sitting in a weird position, getting your leg cramps and your feet falling asleep, and then you get uncomfortable.
I've had that many times.
It's not about sitting still. Meditation can be done. Some people really enjoy that. But it can also be an active meditation.
Yes.
Taking a walk in the park, for example, and only focusing on the birds, the sounds, the smells in that time. And focusing on your feet, how you walk over the ground. How does it feel on your feet? Is it soft? Is it hard? Really focusing in that now moment. And guess what? You're doing a walking meditation. You have active meditations like yoga or Tai Chi. Those are all active meditations. So let go of the knowing or the belief system that you have to sit still and be quiet to meditate. No, I meditate when I'm in my car, because in that moment, I only want to focus on what I'm doing, and that is driving the car. And whenever I hit a red stoplight, I have a few minutes to focus on my breath, and I will do some really deep breathing exercises for a few seconds until it's green, and then poof, I'm off again. And in that moment, I just did a 5-minute, meditation.
And I do that a lot too. Before I do any healing test I do with anybody, I always listen to a certain kind of music though, and I listen to the music. I listen to the vibrations and the sounds and the messages.
Use earphones.
Yeah, and I use the earphones. I listen to the messages of the song though, and the vibrations, the energy it's telling though, and it helps inspire me, helps me calm down. So when I go into a healing session, I feel more relaxed. And that is a form of meditation, though, because why? It's bringing you to a more calm, relaxed state, though, and it's something that resonates with you at that point in time and at that moment.
Binaural beats, you can use that as well for a meditation, where it's really kind of like music with these specific frequencies. I used to use that all the time before I would channel, because it would help me to raise my frequency. And so when I would listen to them, I could literally feel my body start to vibrate. And so I would put my focus on that vibrating feeling. And that was my meditation. So, if you have a busy mind and you don't like sitting still, and sitting still just doesn't work for you, do an activity, yoga, Kundalini awakening, Kundalini yoga. Yeah, I don't know. You have different ones. I don't know. Tai Chi, or just, going on one of those spinning bikes. I know people who meditate on spinning bikes, and they're so focused on that now moment that they lose track of everything. Everything else fades, and by the time they're done, their mind is so empty that they start to receive messages. So
Good question, Alfred.
think bigger.
Can you listen to rap music and meditate? Hey, well, Alfred, you have to know something. You have to go like this. So
I think it might be distracting the words, but just my.
what you have to remember this though is when you do something like that, right? When it comes to meditation, though, it's about like this. When I do a healing session right though, right? I listen to certain types of music though that's gonna give me the inspiration and the motivation to say, hey, I can do this. I have the ability to do this. I have the ability to help other people help themselves. But I have to connect to something that I can relate to, that I understand though, how I'm feeling in that moment though. And it gives me the strength and the courage to do it. And when it does it, it raises my vibrational energy to do it. I like to listen to 80s music. I love 80s music. I do. And I listen to certain music, like especially like movies from martial arts films though. Because a lot of the music in there in those are very
loves martial arts.
I do. But a lot of those
the
songs,
movies.
I love those movies, but I love the music in those movies a lot of times because they have very spiritual messages though that really connect to you, and really give you this understanding about life and about your paths, about finding your inner strength within inside yourself to be able to not only help yourself but to help others as well too. So I listen to a lot of that music though, and it really calms me down, relaxes me. So when I go into my healing sessions, or sometimes I dance. So I just dance and I just let it out and I just go crazy.
Yeah, you just don't think of anything and exactly. You just dance.
Yeah.
You just let it all out. In that moment. You're in the zone and you're meditating.
Absolutely.
Carla, your question. My pup Jordan is acting weird, hiding under the bed. Won't let me pet her. Is she okay? The thing that I don't know. The thing that's coming in is that you need to cleanse your house. I feel that there's a spirit that's scaring her. It's not a bad spirit, but it feels to me like she's not very comfortable with that spirit. So I would do a house cleansing with some sage. Make sure that you do every room. You start clockwise and make sure you do all the top corners of the room. Turn your fire alarms off because they will go off. But yeah, sage your house. Clear your house. That's what I'm getting in. So she'll be okay is what I'm getting. Okay. Let's see here. Hello from Amsterdam. Goedenavond.
Let's see here.
When two individuals, Angie, on the same timeline and world share the same higher self, how does that work? Does each perceive higher self differently when connecting with higher self? Yes. Okay. So it is in go see my video on all about incarnation. It is possible for the same it is possible for the higher self to split up in two different incarnations at the same timeline in the same place. That's what we call a twin flame. However, the guidance for both individual consciousness that are being created, those new individual consciousness that are being created, can be different, because it really depends on whether, what their purpose is, what they intended for this journey. Sometimes they will meet up, sometimes they never will. Sometimes they will have separate spiritual teams. Sometimes they will use the same spiritual team. You have to see it this way. Your higher self can split up and can create experiences, new lives, new incarnations, new experiences, whenever it feels like it, wherever it feels like it, and how many it wants. So that's really, really what it is. But when they do seem to be in the same timeline, they call that twin flames. Sometimes they meet up, sometimes they don't. Sometimes they are here to support each other. Sometimes they're here to push each other's buttons. So look into my video on that where I explain all of that.
How do I get through grief? I've had such a hard time, no guilt, no unfinished business. I know my mom is at peace, but I feel such strong, sad, and it's hard to function.
I want to take that one first if I can. Grief really is love that's stuck inside of you because you have no one to give it to. So despite the fact that your mom is at peace, you don't have a physical her to receive that love, to send that love to. So what I would recommend is that you daily talk to your mom, pull out a chair, sit in front of that chair, tell your mom, Mom, I love you, and close your eyes. Imagine that you're giving her a kiss and a hug and a squeeze, and you do that every day, because I can guarantee you she's really there. She is really there. When you think of her, boom, she's instantly there. When you pull out that chair, boom, she's sitting there, and she's ready to receive your love. When you do that daily, that grieving feeling will pass, because that's really what it is. Grief is love, unconditional love that you're willing, that you want to give to a person, but that you feel cannot be received because that person is physically not with you anymore. So you have to visualize and know that she's there to receive it, and you give it to her every day. That will help you with the grieving process. What's your tip?
My tip is this, because I've gone through grief a lot in my life. I lost my best friend.
In Iraq.
In Iraq. I lost my sisters too as well. So I understand what it's like to experience both sides of the coin, because grief can be very different for many people in different ways, though. And we all deal with grief in our own ways and how we go about it. Like when my sister died, though, she was sick for more than a year. She had cerebral palsy, and she was sick for money. She was on constant medication. She was in a wheelchair. And I always knew that she was sick, though. And I always knew that she was very, very sick and it was going to be very hard. So when the last time I saw her was, and I knew that she'd been through so much life, and I told her, sweetie, I love you. It's okay. You can let go. You've been through enough, you know? And it was the best thing I could do for her, because why? Because I knew that it was time for her to move on, you know? And it was hard. It was hard, but I understood that, you know, that she'd been through enough, and I knew that she was ready to move on. Now with my friend Ramsey, it was a little bit different. When he passed away, and it's like that and stuff, it was very instant. One day he was there, next minute he was gone. I never got a chance to say goodbye to him or tell him, you know, that I loved him, nothing. And that was really, really hard. So it was very different. It was a different kind of grief. And I held on to his death for a very long time, because I blamed myself for what happened. You know, because I felt like if I could have done something, if I could have been there, or if I could have changed something that happened, you know. But the thing is, I couldn't do that. But I didn't realize it at the time, no. You know, and I was grieving for many, many years about it, until finally I had to realize, until he eventually came to me during one of my meditations, and he said to me, Ra, you got to let go, homie. It's not your fault what happened. You know, I love you. I'm here with you. I'm always here with you. All you have to do is ask. And I'm always helping you out. Same thing when I said her too, though. So like I said, though, just because we pass on, we are not really gone. We're still there. People still want to have a relationship with you in your lives, whether you realize it or not. They're just waiting for you to ask, you know. And then what you have to open your awareness up to it as well. And they'll send you little tidbits and little messages, though, and you have to be aware of it, you know. Or you can do meditation to help connect with you as well. But they're always there watching over you every day. They're walking the path with you and holding your hand, whether you realize it or not. All you have to do is just realize, hey, they're there. All I have to do is ask them to talk to me. It may not be the way that you were hoping, like we talk like this. No, but it doesn't mean they're not there.
They can hear you, they can see you, they can feel you. The moment you think of your mom in an unexpected, let's say you're doing grocery shopping and you're really focusing on your shopping. Let's say you're at work and you're really focusing at work, and all of a sudden your mom's picture gets into your head. You just see her in your mind, you think of her all of a sudden out of the blue. Well, that's your mom saying hello. That's your mom saying hello. You know, that's really how it is. You really have to acknowledge that they do talk to you. Somebody wanted to know what we do in our spare time. Well, you're a sports freak.
I love my sports.
He drives me crazy with that stuff. He loves the NFL and NBA, and he gets so riled up. He's so competitive.
I'm passionate.
He's passionate to the point where you can be on the other side of the street. You will hear him scream at the screen. I'm sure that our neighbors think we're fighting, but no. Not us fighting. This is him screaming at the referees.
But I think every guy does it when they're watching something really important. It's a really important sporting event. I don't care what any guy. You go to a bar, and see a guy like,
yeah.
I guarantee you go to a bar, any guy's doing that. We're men. It's our natural instinct when we watch sports.
Usually go upstairs because I can't handle the screaming. I usually go to bed early. I'm like, okay, I'm going to bed. I love horseback riding, and I love animals, and I love gardening. So I love getting in nature and things like that. So that's what I usually do. And we love movies.
I love movies.
Somebody wanted to know what we were watching. The Spirit Line. Seen any good movies or TV shows lately? What did you think of the Game of Thrones last year? We haven't seen it.
I haven't seen it.
We haven't seen it. We missed it on TV, and because we haven't seen it, and I don't remember why we didn't see it. But everybody keeps like bringing it down, so we're like. We've been postponing. We're fearful to watch it now, so we don't know. But yeah, we're big on movies and shows.
I think the last good movie I saw was the new Bumblebee movie. I thought it was really good. I liked the new Bumblebee movie. It was really, really good. I thought it was really good. I liked it because it kind of went back to the roots of what Transformers really was supposed to be about in the beginning in the first place.
And I'm more of I love fantasy movies too, and I love I don't like scary movies because I just don't want to attract that.
It depends.
And Gerald made me watch a movie once with a house, and no, I usually just watch like this.
He does watch.
I usually don't see any of it. But I like inspiring movies. I like true stories, and I like I like fantasy. I love Supernatural.
Sam and Dean. Love that show.
Sam and Dean. So we love. We're kooky like that.
I think we watched that.
We love the 80s movies.
I actually watched a show I saw on Netflix recently. It was what was it called? How to Get Away with Murder. That was pretty good, actually. Though
I'm not a big fan of that one.
I thought it was kind of interesting. Though. I thought it was an interesting look. I like to dab a little bit. I don't like to just look at certain things. I like to look a little bit of everything, though, because I like to get different perspectives and different way of looking at things, though. So I like to try different things that are interesting, for me at least.
Somebody wanted to know how we met. Well, we kind of already told that. We met online 15 years ago.
Yes, we did.
In a chat room, Yahoo Chat, if I remember correctly. This was before Facebook, before YouTube. None of that stuff existed. Before Twitter and Instagram. And all we had was chat rooms. And I just came back from the States, and I really missed America. And for some reason, I typed in any hot Americans out there. Well, I don't know why I put the hot word in there. I think that was my angel who typed that up for me. Because I just wanted to talk American.
Well, you know what, though? It's okay, though. When you're a man in a uniform, you can never go wrong.
So he popped up.
I was like, I'm here. I was in my uniform. I looked good, so I was like,
yeah. And I could see him. He was in Iraq at the time, in Baghdad, I think.
Yes.
He was in Iraq. This was 2005? Four. And I just came back from the States, and I was at home with my mom and dad, and I really was bored, and I had never chatted before. I never gone to a chat room, so I figured I'd give it a try. And he popped up, and we started talking for 3 hours, and I don't know, it was like we already knew each other. It was really weird. And he said, okay, well, the next same time tomorrow. And I said, okay. So I waited because it was in the evening, and he didn't show up, and I was freaking out. And I told my mom, this guy said he was going to come on. He's not coming on. And this was before my whole spiritual awakening. So if I'd known I'd talked to the spirits, I would have done it. And the next day after that, you came on and you said, well, I couldn't stop thinking about you, and it freaked me the hell out. And I think a week later, he asked me to be his girlfriend after a week of chatting. And I said, sure. You know, he was in Iraq. I was here. You know, I was in Belgium. So, you know, what could go wrong? And then you called me a few days later on the phone, the first time that you heard my voice. Because, you know, we didn't have Skype. We didn't have any of that.
No, we didn't.
We just had typing. That's it. We just typed, text message each other. And so he heard my voice for the very first time. And I remember the first thing you said was, wow, your English is really good. And then he just blurted it out and he said, do you want to marry me? And I paused for about 5 minutes because my brain was saying, are you crazy? But my heart was screaming, yes. And so I said yes. And after I put the phone down, I was asking myself, how am I going to tell my parents that I just got engaged to a guy I've never met and a guy who's never seen me, because he still hadn't seen me. I didn't have a webcam because back then there were no built-in webcams on the laptop. So I had to go out and purchase one after that so he could actually see me. And I just blurted it out that night. I just said, so Mom and Dad, this guy just asked me to marry him. And I said, yes. And my mom and dad said, oh, congratulations. And that was it. And everybody took his side of the people's kind of went crazy. Yeah. You're crazy. You don't know this girl. And my side was like, okay. And they were kind of like that. And everybody said we weren't going to last a year. And we've been happily married for 14 years and together for 15.
Yeah.
So there you go. Follow your heart, even if it doesn't make sense.
There you go.
Just go for it. Whatever needs to flow out of it will flow.
I always follow my instincts, though, because why?
And we met, what, 6 months later for the first time?
It was about 3 or 4 months later. 3 or 4 months later.
I flew to Chicago, I think, yeah.
Yes,
and Chicago. You flew from Iraq all the way there.
Yes, I did.
And we met up at the airport after a very long, tiring flight day.
It was a whole day for me.
I sat 5 hours waiting in the airport for him on a chair. But when we met, we knew we didn't make a mistake.
No, we didn't. Best decision I ever made.
Oh, thank you, baby. I agree.
Let's see here.
I met my hubby online, also like Yahoo 19 years ago. See? Yeah. It can happen. Love can find you that way.
Yeah. You know?
Any hot Americans? Yeah, I know. Why did I say the hot word? I don't know. Because I really wasn't. I just wanted to talk English. I miss talking English. But I think one of my angels or guides just typed that in for me. Let's see here. Have we ever had past lives together? Yes, we've had several lifetimes together. Lots. We're soulmates, which means that we're part of the same soul family, and we're very similar in frequency. But you can tell that doesn't mean that you're going to have the same personality when you come here. But we're very close.
Yes, we are. Okay, who else we got here?
We're best friends. Yes, we are.
Yes, we are. Let's see what we got here. Do you know about the past lives when you met?
Why am I always coughing, Jojo Beans? Because I've had a cold for 2 weeks and it's not going away. And I've been getting healing, but I think my angels are trying to tell me something. And it's extremely dry and hot air in here because I have a fan right now at my face, and that dries out my throat, makes me cough. Very telepathic. Yeah, we always do that, don't we?
Yes, we do.
I remember I used to work at a store, food store, grocery store, and Gerald was at home with the children, and he would think pizza, pizza, pizza. and I would just come home with pizza. Or sometimes he's like, "What am I thinking? What should we eat?" And then I always know what he's saying. He doesn't need to tell me. I just make it. I cough a lot on other videos too. Yeah, because I talk so much, I get a very dry throat. So I apologize, but it is what it is.
Did you know that when you were soulmates when you met? Good question. Did we know any?
Well, I think if you ask the person to marry you after a week and a half, then I think you know your soulmates.
Pretty much, yeah.
From the moment we talked, it was like we had known each other for years.
Very true.
I remember you told me after like 2 days you had a dream.
Yeah.
And he was describing the dream that he was in a room, and it looked like a bedroom, and he was describing there's a closet here and the bed is that way and there's a poster there. And I listened to him and I said, "You just described my bedroom that I'm sleeping in right now in detail." He knew the posters and everything, how my bed was against what wall.
I even knew the color of the wall.
He knew the color of my wall, and I had a Bordeaux wall. So
Bordeaux wall.
So that was a pretty clear sign that, we were connected, because we hadn't never even met yet. And he had never seen my wall, because at the time I didn't have the webcam yet. So, and I always did the readings. We always talked downstairs. So he would have he never saw my bedroom until he actually came over physically and visited me.
And then I was like, oh crap, it was
do we ever do readings on each other? No. You know why? It's so hard to do readings for yourself, because in order to do a reading, you really have to be emotionally detached from the outcome of the messages.
Nice.
And when it comes to me, I ask my spiritual team all the time, what's going on? Give me some guidance. And you know what they tell me? Figure it out yourself. That's what they tell me. So because I'm here, and because intuition, my own gut feelings are so important in what I do, they refuse to give me any answers. So it's become pointless to really ask much in regards to future, because I used to be like, come on, get us some signs and this and that. But we usually don't get one, do we?
Not really.
Eric always says, trust your gut. Which is frustrating, because I get so much guidance for other people, but you never get any from yourself. So that's what we do. We trust our gut and we just surrender to it. But it's hard. It's hard to do channeling for people that you care about and that that you're really close with. Because is it what, it's hard to just, to separate yourself. Is it what you want for them, or is it really what's going through?
Let's see here.
Somebody wanted to know about the video on angels and guides. We've been slacking a bit on videos because our personal life has been really hectic, really busy.
Yes,
Gerald injured his ankle as well a couple of days ago. And it's still very much
Yes, I know people ask me that question. My ankle is a little bit better, but still hurting. I haven't put like stuff on it. So thank you for people for asking me. I really appreciate it.
It's just been very hectic and very busy.
Yes, it has been.
And so that's why the videos have been kind of on a slow burner. But I'm hoping to do the interview with Coco the gorilla next weekend. And then hopefully the week after that, I will be able to make the angels versus guides video. And then we're going on a little bit of a vacation. And during my vacation, I will try and make some more videos for you guys. So please be patient. It's been just crazy and hectic. Is that Leah crying? I hear Leah crying.
Is how do you know how to block other people's energy? I'm an empath, but can't figure it out.
Well, I'm an empath too. And what I do is every morning I put up my shield. I do a Jedi move. So what I do is I know that we all have an aura, which is an energetic field that really kind of protects us. And so when I wake up in the morning, first thing I do is express gratitude. When we wake up, we always go, oh, honey, thank you for waking up and spending another day with me. That's our first thing that we do. And we cuddle a bit, we knuffle, and we're expressing gratitude for everything that we do have, And then I get up and I just stand up by the bed and I close my eyes for a minute and I just go shields up and I visualize that my shield is being created. And just by doing that and adding the knowing that my shield is up, which means I can give and receive love, but everything that's a lower frequency is bouncing off of me right now. Just having that knowing and that visualization helps me to block all the negative energies out. Sometimes it doesn't work when it's very powerful. When something, for example, dramatic happens, when 9/11, for example, happens, the entire, my pen flies, the entire, I'm crazy. The entire universe, kind of the entire world was in distress at that moment, right? I mean, really, all over the world, we're like, ooh. And so I physically got ill because it's so powerful that it does seep in. But overall, because of the work that I do, it does protect me very good. Another thing that we do, both of us, is once a week we take a salt bath.
Yeah.
We use bath salt. Just make sure that it's like salt from the Dead Sea or really sea salt kind of thing, not artificial salt kind of stuff. We take a bath salt once a week. If you don't have a bath, then you can take it in a little bucket and you put your feet in. And that helps us to clear the clutter, the lower energies out of our energy field. It actually absorbs it. Salt is a high vibrating energy, a high vibrating crystal that cleanses. So, and then you also put salt in a little saucer or a little cup underneath your bed, and that helps you to clear your system as well while you're sleeping. So that's what we do to keep clean. And then every 6 months, I sage my whole house, and we're doing, that really works for us, doesn't it? And people always tell us when they come into our house, they're like, wow, it feels so light here and eerie. It's really a tiny house. We really have a small house. Yeah. I call it my matchbox house because, when Carrie Mena came over, she said her garage was bigger than our entire house, which she was actually right. We really live in one of those very small, narrow, old row houses. It's like 1931, I think, is when it was built. Yep. But the energy here is very clear, very pure. And I burn some incense every day. Nachampa is what I use because it's really natural and it's pure sage. So yeah, that's how we do it. It really is about building a routine to protect and knowing that don't fear. The moment you fear something, you're going to attract it.
Absolutely.
So I put up a shield not out of fear, but just to know, just to kind of go, whoop, I'm complete now. With my shield up, I am complete. I am whole. And
I had a good question about this the last time I had a healing with somewhere. They had the same problem though. And I told them because they were having trouble with their boss at their work, all that stuff. And I said, in order to not be able to let someone take away your energy or something like that, you have to visualize yourself though, setting that boundary. Say, okay, this is my boundary. This is my personal space. You can only come up if I allow you to come in my personal boundary in my space. So you have to set that intention inside that stuff. Now you can use words. You can use visualization to help you, and find what works best for you. You can even visualize I feel like someone get in your space. Imagine like there's a big giant wall there, and something say, hey, you can't block my wall. I can't go to my wall. You know what I'm saying? Like that. So use something that works for you though, because what might work for you might not work for everybody else though. Okay, so you have to find which shield's going to work best for you. Though. So try it though. Try different things though, and try in certain circumstances where you feel uncomfortable. Because sometimes we can feel very uncomfortable with certain things in our lives though, and we don't feel like dealing with certain things though. When it's like, it's like I don't want you taking away my energy or my space. So you kind of just like take a step back. So you know what? No, I don't want to deal with that right now. If you don't feel like dealing with a certain thing at a certain moment, don't deal with it then. Deal with it when you're ready to deal with it. And if you feel like you have to deal with it though, then make sure it's like, okay, I'm going to go in this situation. I know what it's going to be like. So I'm going to go in there or with the intention that, hey, I'm not going to let you invade my space. And I feel like you're invading my space. Then guess what? Done. That's simple. And you have to set that intention as well.
Yeah, intentions and validations in your heart, knowing things, and just having that knowing and having that faith in something, really, that creates reality. Your intentions create reality. So be very aware of the intentions that you're sending out. Make sure you send the right ones with the right energy. Why are you still in Belgium? Well, we were planning on moving, but the universe keeps sending us problems. A lot of different things.
Yes.
A lot of different things is the universe telling us not the right time, and financially.
I still scratch my head with that every single day.
People think we make millions doing this. I can tell you, I don't. I live in a country that the more you make, the more taxes you pay. So we really just kind of stay where we at. We can't make more money than we should.
Nope.
And then there's visa problems because the American president has decided to make everything very hard. A whole lot of different things. Then we were going to go to France, but then we found out that there's absolutely no respect for autistic people.
No.
There's no special schooling. They are basically forced to go to a regular school, which is not possible with our children.
No, it's not.
So everywhere we looked, we kind of got blocked. And so we are following the universe's advice, and we are currently just kind of waiting and staying here until something rolls into place. Because everywhere we tried, we kind of hit a road bump.
It's kind of like a thing. Rolling with them, we're rolling.
We're rolling with it. So right now, unfortunately, we want to move, but right now, the universe is giving us very clear signals that it's not the right time. So hopefully in the future. My question, Susan, does your daughters have your gift? Yes, I believe that they do. My girls really live in their own universe, and Leah will talk to ceilings and walls. She will wake up in the middle of the night and saying that, somebody's in my room, and sometimes she's afraid of them. She'll call them monsters.
Yeah, she'll call them monsters.
There's a monster, and then I just feel like it's just a spirit passing through that might not look great. That's been stuck on Earth.
Yeah, that's why I have to help her.
And Jada, my oldest, is nonverbal, so she communicates to us with telepathy and body language, and I think she's very connected, but she doesn't have a way to express it. But I do see her looking around, where there's nothing there, there's no one there, and I know she sees them somehow. But it's just a knowing. They're really high vibrating souls, and they're here to teach us much more than we're here to teach them. So yes, I do believe that they have the ability. I think Leah, our youngest, is clairvoyant, but she doesn't understand what they want. And she's still working on that. We're working on that with her. And then I think Jada hears them because she will sometimes talk very weird kind of language.
Yeah, she does.
It almost sounds like light language. Jada doesn't communicate with our language. She really has a kind of a light language that she expresses a lot.
Very much so.
So I think that she's communicating to her spirits in her own unique language in some way or form. So yeah, I think so. They're going fast.
I know.
You're in a wonderful country. Well, I would disagree with that. There's a lot of safety here. I agree with that. There's a lot of support, but there's also a lot of buts. I'm Italian from Pisa. Hello.
Hello.
Buonanotte. I don't know if I said that right, but I have an uncle who lives in Sicily, who is Sicilian, actually. I did vitamins therapy for my autistic daughter. She started talking in less than a month. Well, we've been trying that, but it's not taking for us. We really want to try the CBD oil,
Yeah.
but it's hard to get in my country. Yes, the reason we're staying in Belgium is because of the girls.
Yes.
Is because of the autism, because there's many things I don't like about my country, but they are great with autism.
They are.
Great.
They are. That's very true.
That's the reality. We have people from France, Holland, Germany, who all moved to Belgium because of their children with autism. So it's one of the rare countries that really, and we really wanted to go to Canada because there's great schools there for autistic kids too, but can't get a visa. We tried.
Do you tour the U.S.? We just did an event in California just in May.
We do one event a year. We go in that direction. So we just did May. We went to California.
I know we're planning to do another one next year too as well. Coming up next year.
Yeah, CBD oil, and it's just hard to get. I don't know. You can always try and send it to me. You know. Ringing in our ears. I think we discussed that. That usually means that spirit is near you. What it usually means is, okay, a spirit is a high vibrating, energetic being. And so it's kind of like, you know, in the old days when you had a cell phone and you went too close to a radio, it would cause disruption. It's very similar to that. It's just a way for them to let you know that they're present. So they, it causes interference with your energetic field. And that's why we get the ringing. Where do you want to go next year? We're trying the East Coast.
Yes.
We're thinking of going to Vermont because then we can combine it with visiting my beautiful friend Pam. Come to Quebec. We'd love to.
Wow.
How about music like a jewelry box in your ears? Well, then there's definitely somebody communicating with you.
That's very true.
And then you just ask who's sending the music and see if you find, if you get communication. The thing is with asking for a message, don't expect an answer right away. Don't expect an answer at all. Yeah. Expectations always block the receival of messages. Send it out into the universe. Hey, you know, let me know who you are. I'd love to really be able to communicate to you on a deeper level. And you let it out. You just send it out and you release it. That's it. Send it out. You know it's out there. The message was sent. It was received. And sometimes you get an answer right away, and sometimes it'll take a week, and all of a sudden you'll keep seeing the same name pass by. You know, there's all different ways for them to, or you'll hear the same song over and over from the same artist, and then usually that's the name. The name of the artist is the name of whoever's communicating with you. So there's many different ways for them to do it. High pressure in the ears all the time. Yes, that is a clear signal that you are receiving some kind of energetic communication. Now, all you need to do is figure out a way how to translate that. And you do that by experimenting, having fun with it. Have fun with it. Yeah. The moment you do things in order to receive certain things, you're blocking it because you're fearful that you then won't receive it, and anything from fear blocks. Yeah, it's kind of a, just play with it. Have fun. Play with them. They love it.
Going so fast. Let's see what we got here.
Why do they wait so long to communicate? There is no time. They don't wait long. No. It's just you will only receive it when you are in that specific frequency. So they usually send it right away, but because you're not always in a frequency to receive, it takes you longer to get it. But time doesn't exist. Time's not linear. That's a human conception and a human created idea. In the universe, there really is no time. So
No.
So it doesn't take long. It's just, it takes you longer to receive it. You know, the message is sent out. It's sent out, but sometimes it takes a while. You have to see your body as a radio. And in order to receive their communication, you have to dial the knob until you're at the right frequency to receive it.
It's kind of like back in the old days, though, when you used to get messages. It would took longer to get the message. You wonder why it took you so long back then. Well, it's kind of the same thing, though, because you didn't have that certain technology back then to be able to get the message. Well, it's kind of the same thing, though. You know?
Yeah, it's really what it is. I always compare myself to that radio, because the reason I'm receiving it very instantly is because I am fully open to it. I have no expectations, no demands. I started reading not knowing anything what's going to come through. And I also release the need or the fear to have any knowing coming in. I just say whatever happens, happens. I'm putting the responsibility is yours. You want to communicate to this person? Make sure something comes out of my mouth. That's it. I have I take no responsibility for it in a way, but that helps me. That ID helps me to release all interference from my end. And I'm just basically like, I'm here to be the radio. You guys are making the music. You just make sure it comes out of my mouth in the right way. And I trust them to do that. It's really what it is. No expectations. In life, you know, you can have many dreams and send it out, but try and release the fear of not creating or getting what you want. Mm-hmm. Have you had any dogs or cats? Yes. I never did, because my mom is allergic to animal hair.
I love dogs. Favorite animals. Love dogs.
He's had a few dogs that were really like your friends, your best friends.
Oh, God, yes.
I'm a guinea pig lady. I've always had guinea pigs because it was small enough for my mom to be able to handle it as long as she didn't go too close to it. I always wanted a dog, but I never had the joy of having a dog. And now our house is just too small, so that won't work.
Who would love guinea pigs?
For over a year, I would see the time 9/11, both AM and PM. What does that mean? It means that there's an angel who's communicating to you with angel numbers.
Yeah.
So look up what the 9 and the 11 stand for.
Yeah.
Just look up angel numbers.
Yeah.
Somebody's trying to pass on a message. And by giving you these synchronicities, always seeing the same number, they're just confirming their presence, because you probably have asked for a signal or a sign of their presence. That's their way of doing it. Order the CBD oil in Holland. I know. I was thinking of going to Sluis.
Yeah.
And picking some up over there and hiding it. Because it's not legal in my country.
No, it's not.
Not yet. Only on certain prescriptions, I think.
Yeah. Let's see what else we got.
Receiving messages from a person still on this physical world who I've never met or spoken. How does this work and why? Oh, okay. You can, okay. A lot of people have asked me that before. Can you get messages or communications from a person who's still alive? The answer is yes, because really what you're doing is you're connecting to that person's higher self, who's always in the spirit world, who's always in the higher realms. So yes, you can communicate to that person, but you will communicate to their higher selves, their more whole, the entireness, the wholeness of who they really are, not just the character. But you can not just the character in this incarnation, because really we're just playing a character. We're playing a role.
But it's kind of like the same thing when I do healings a lot too, though, is what I do is when I kind of go into this meditative state, though, and I kind of release myself, though, and my energetic being goes to the place where that person's at, though, and I guide them out to the place they want to go to, though, as well. I'm still connected to them, though, but I'm still be able to take them to the place they want to go to. I hope that helps and stuff like that.
Okay, well, it looks like we're about to close off.
Yeah.
So what we want to know from you guys, do you like these live sessions?
Yes.
Do you want us to do live sessions on, for example, let's say I just did that video on incarnations. Do you want us to do a live video after that? So you, in case you have extra questions, you know, just let us know if you really enjoy these. Share them, like and subscribe to our channel. Know that we have a Facebook group as well, Rolling with Emma, where you can then pick and choose our next spiritual guest. Again, a lot of people, I want to send that out. A lot of people are asking me, please channel this person, please channel that person. I'm getting so many, really bombarded with names. The way that I work is I allow spirits to come to me. So I don't choose them. They choose me. So if you want a specific person to step forward, make sure that you communicate to them. Talk to them in your mind and tell them to come see me. So what I do is once a month, I meditate on it. And the first 5 people that step forward, or the first 5 beings, as they're not always people, the first 5 beings, the first 5 souls that step forward, I put in my Facebook group, I put the list up. These 5 entities stepped forward, and then I allow you guys to choose who we're going to interview. So just know that I work that way. I don't really invite them because I think I respect them too much to say, you need to come on my show. I used to have to do that with other people that I worked with. I wasn't comfortable with that. It's not my, I think it's just not my way of doing it. If they want to step forward and communicate to the world, they will. If they don't, then that's fine too, and I respect that. So that's how the names come forward. Okay? I just wanted to let that out there. The next channeling is going to be Coco the Gorilla, and I'm supposed to, if all goes well, I will probably record it with Pam on next weekend. So hopefully I will have it
when
by
will you
Sunday.
live stream again?
Well, I don't know yet. This is how we roll. We roll with it, and that's why our group is called Rolling with Emma. We really don't have a steady schedule. We don't have steady times where we bring out videos. We really try to find balance in life and work, and it's been pretty rough so far. So that's why the videos have been a little bit slow on bringing them out. But know that we're working on it, and
we haven't forgot about you guys. We promise.
We don't forget. And I keep getting all of this information in, send this and that. But it's just been really hectic and busy this year. It's been super busy with work and with the children and health problems and things like that. And so we're working on it. And I just want to thank you guys for your patience.
Thanks, guys.
Our vacation is coming up, which, you know, we continue to work in our vacation. Yeah, no, because that's usually the time where we have some more time to do videos.
Yes, it is.
But yeah, we're doing Coco the Gorilla. And then after that, who was chosen? Queen Elizabeth I.
I thought you were going to do the other one.
And we're doing God interview as well.
Yeah.
Hopefully in July. Hopefully. I've been trying to connect with God energy because God Source has been reaching out to me, and I'm trying to get to a point where God Source can channel through me. The problem is the energy is so intense that every time we try, I start crying and bawling like a little baby, and I can't get anything out of my mouth anymore. So we're working on it, but it's getting better. It's getting better. So I'm hoping that we might be able to trans-channel God Source either in July or August. Is what we're hoping, that it will be okay by then, because it's really me needing to adjust to that massive amount of energy that's gonna be entering my body, and we're working on it. It's not gonna be an easy one, but I'm willing to do it for you guys because you guys requested it. So that's what we're doing. Hi, Amanda. So yeah, get drunk first. I don't drink. Sorry. No alcohol in this body. Smoke a doobie. Yeah, again, it's not legal here, but anybody's welcome to send it. We're open to receive. Satan said I must do it. Okay. Follow your gut. What do you want me to say about that?
Come back to California.
Don't feed the troll. Oh, I love them. They're so great.
Bart is a troll.
I love trolls. I love everyone. So you can send me all the mean remarks you want. It won't hurt me because you know what? We're all the same and you're just hurting yourself.
That's all you're doing is just hating your brothers and sisters.
Channel reptilians.
Have you ever smoked?
I've never smoked a doobie. I want to. I want to feel that.
I actually did it twice when I was in the military, actually. So, cat's out of the bag, people.
I've never smoked a doobie. I've always wanted to. We were in California. Why didn't we?
I forgot about it.
I didn't know it was legal there. I had no idea. What's your address? It's on the website.
There you go.
If not, just text message me. But I know
Not
it's
smoke, bad habit.
Satan was in California too. I believe that. I truly believe that. I don't believe in Satan, but there was some negative energy going there. That's for sure. There's a lot of bad vibes there. It made me physically ill. Brenda can testify to that, especially when we went to Hollywood.
Oh.
Woo! There was some heavy energy there.
There's no bad habits in virtual reality. Thank you. There are no bad habits. I always tell people that there is no such thing as positive or negative, good and bad. There just is what it is, though. Because you have to remember something. We are spiritual beings living in physical existence.
I doubt you would like it. I don't know. I might be coughing and spitting it out. I mean, I don't know. I really don't know. Who knows?
We choose what we want to experience in our lives, though. We have to remember this, though.
Could you do a reading, please, from Peter? I'm fully booked for the rest of the year, so you can send me a new request on December 20th when I reopen the schedule for 2020.
Puff.
So, but I'm usually booked for a year solid. Sorry. Hollywood is bad energy. It's not bad, you know. I don't believe in bad or good. It's just lower energy and higher energy.
It is.
And I really didn't feel good in California. I felt great at the event because the people there were elevating this frequency. But when I went to Hollywood to just go sightseeing, oh my God, there was so much lower energy there that it really affected my body. So, and that's being an empath. I'm so sensitive to energy that it physically can make me ill if I'm not expecting it. And I really didn't expect that energy to be, I really thought Hollywood's going to be great and fabulous. And yeah, it wasn't what I expected. So.
Okay. Well, it's your perception, Bart. I don't only think it's anybody.
What is our poor Bart saying?
Down here.
What are you saying, Bart?
Energies and pussies.
Okay. Guess you're a pussy too. Guess we're all made out of energy.
There you go.
Takes one to know one. You're gay. We are. We're very gay people.
We're very gay. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
We don't forget though. Gay.
We love you.
Don't forget. Gay also means happy too. Though. Don't forget that.
I'm Dutch. Oh, good. Ik hou van jou, Bart. Heel veel. Met Hans mijn hart. I like cheese. Me too.
All right. Gerald, you didn't finish what you said about habits. What was I saying about habits exactly?
I don't know.
I think I was saying my habits that what? Oh yeah. What I was saying about habits was Listen, when it comes to certain things, though, everything in life is your choice. You know, we have a choice to decide what we want to do in our lives, though, and how we want to live or how we want to experience our lives, though. People say, oh, we never have a choice. Let me tell you something. You always have a choice, no matter what. It's called free will. We all have the free will choice to experience how we want to experience our lives and who we want to be in our lives. You know, there are no such thing as good or bad things or positives. You know, to see everything as it is. Everything is an experience, you know what I'm saying? And you're supposed to learn a little bit of everything. How can you understand what certain experiences are if you don't experience them? How can you understand what it's like to experience trauma if you've never experienced trauma? How do you know what it's like to experience love if you've never experienced love? How do you know what it's like to experience sadness if you've never experienced sadness? So I believe you have to experience all sides of the coin, though. And that's why there is really no positive or negative, though, because there's always just an experience. And how you choose to see it, how you choose to perceive it, is completely up to you. That's what's called a free will choice. I hope that helps.
There's a question here that I know we're supposed to log off, but you guys are just too much fun.
I know.
Damn you guys. Okay. It was a good question. Stranger Things, love the name, love the show.
Love the show.
You kind of just answered a question of mine about whether it's better to leave a negative situation or learn to stay centered in it. You know, when you're stuck and surrounded by a negative situation, and if it's really impactful and it's really affecting you in a restrictive way, then I always advise to step away from it. It doesn't mean you're giving up. It doesn't mean that you are fleeing from it, but it means that you are telling the universe, I deserve better. I deserve better. I deserve to be loved. I deserve to be surrounded by love. I deserve to have a job that I really enjoy. I deserve to have colleagues, you know, that respect me. So stepping away from a negative situation is never a bad thing because you are doing it for self-love, self-respect, self-empowerment. So
that's what I said
staying centered in it, if you can disconnect from the negativity, then it's absolutely possible. However, I don't know a lot of people who can completely shut that out and staying in there with joy.
But that's where the free will choice comes in. You have the choice, though, to decide whether or not you want to experience that experience. If you don't want to experience, you can say, I don't want to experience that crap. I don't need that experience in my life. You make that choice. That's called a free will choice.
And sometimes that's, you know, Gerald had to make the hard decision to step away from his family. They were very toxic. They were very negative. We tried to reason with them. We tried to be kind to them for over a decade. And eventually we had to step away. They were so toxic, not just to themselves, but to us, that we decided to take distance, to step away, to no longer communicate with them. We haven't talked to them in several years. And that's okay. We still love them. We know that our souls up there are having a blast together, even though we are separated here, but that's okay. It's okay to step away, and this is your journey. You're the creator. So don't feel bad for certain things, you know, for making a decision that's gonna heal you, that's gonna make you feel better about your life, about your journey. Never feel guilty for taking care of yourself.
Absolutely not. No.
Never.
No. You should always have the self-love and the self-respect for yourself, though. If you don't want certain things in your life, if something in your life does not serve a purpose in your life, you have to let it go. You know, no matter how hard it is, how painful, how difficult it is. You know, that's what you have to remember. Okay? That's the most important thing, is all right?
You have to love yourself in this life. And I'm not talking about ego. I'm not talking about thinking that you're better than everyone else. That's ego.
That's ego.
Okay? Self-love means that you have the respect to follow your own intuition, that you have the love for yourself to know and to receive, to know that you deserve love and you deserve feeling good and you deserve to be abundant and you deserve to be joyful and you deserve to be balanced. You know, that's what self-love is. You didn't come down here to suffer. You came down here to experience and go through ups and downs. That's what human life is about. But you didn't come here to be a victim. Okay. And in placing yourself or keeping yourself in situations that are toxic for you is self-victimization. You are attacking yourself right now, and you're limiting and even prohibiting your soul from experiencing what it should be experiencing, from going on those adventures that it wanted to have. So self-love means that you give yourself the right to make the best out of this journey and to not allow other toxicities to restrict you, limit you, bring you down, or even destroy you. That's what it is.
Yeah. Just remember, though, no one can take away your joy and happiness unless you let them take away your joy and happiness away from you.
And even, if you guys end up in a very bad situation with somebody who's very close to you, a family member or a really close friend, know that in the afterlife, you guys are going to laugh with this and go, wow, you really pushed my buttons well. You did that good because I learned this from it. You learned that from it. So know that you might be in a bad place here, but at home, you guys are in a good place.
Yeah. Very true.
I always tell that when people attack me, I always go, yeah, but up there, we're having a cup of coffee together. So, that's really how you have to see it. And then you don't get stuck in that negativity anymore, because the truth is up there, you guys, all souls are compatible. You all chose this journey together. You chose to create drama. You chose to create, hurtful things in order for you to discover yourself, to grow, to learn, to expand. It's all part of the learning process. So as long as you keep that in the back of your mind, yeah, I might hate you right now, but, I love myself more. So I'm going to step away from that hate. I'm going to step away. I'm going to find forgiveness. And I know one day we're going to look back at this and we're going to say good job to each other. No matter how painful it is. That's the truth.
And just remember, though, you have to remember, it's your life. How do you choose to live your life? How you choose to experience it? It's up to you. So don't let anybody else tell you different how you should live your life, how you should enjoy your life. It's your life. It's your journey. It's your path. And who you choose to have on your path, who you choose to experience your life with, is up to you. Okay, that's what you have to remember.
Marta asks, how do I change a victim consciousness? We're about to close off, but I would recommend going on learnitlive.com. I have classes there that are called The Road to Enlightenment. And those really go into depth to transcend victim consciousness, move into manifest your consciousness. And then we even take it a step further. We eventually move into channel consciousness and being consciousness, which is what we call a state of enlightenment. And those are the steps that I did to heal from the physical, from the sexual abuse from my grandfather, from the traumas from past suicide thoughts that I had all the way up to about 19. I'm now 38, and it's taken me several years to discover how to do that. And I've collected all of that into 6 classes, and I would recommend looking into that. The Road to Enlightenment. It is what helped me to get to where I am now. It has helped many people that have followed the classes, so I know it works for everyone. And you can find the link on my website as well, EmanuelleMcIntosh.com. It's a little bit too complicated to just talk about here, because it's about 2 hours per class, and there's a lot of homework that I give you that you do have to follow, that you do have to do. So a little bit of self-discipline is necessary in order to really transcend into a better version of you and into a more peaceful, more balanced way of living. So I would definitely recommend that. Okay, guys. That was it. Okay. So let me know if you guys like these live channelings. We just chit chat about whatever. But I wanted to get to know you a little bit more personal, because I know not all of you have Facebook. So this way, we do this often on Facebook, but we don't. This is our first attempt on YouTube to go live. So yeah, let us know what you think. If you want more of these live sessions, we would love to do that. Just let us know if you want to do it just random questions, or if you want to do it per theme. You know, one we do about incarnation, one we do about angels and guides. However you guys want to do it, we'll see what we can do. And we'll catch you later. We'll see you guys later. We love you.
Bye, guys. Love you. Peace.
Bart, we love you too. Have a good day. Prettige dag verder. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Check us out. Oh, one more question. There was one question there.
Oh.
How can I send a question in for the interview with Elizabeth I? You can either go to my website you can go to Facebook, my Facebook group, Rolling with Emma. You can sign up for it, and then you could pass the question when I start to post. You can send your questions now, or if you don't have Facebook, just email it to me, okay? And then I will take it into consideration. Know that I usually get about 200, 300, 400 questions. And I have to pick about 20 out. So, but you can always send it or email it to me as well. All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.
Love you.
Have a good weekend.
Have a great weekend. You're going to have a great weekend. It's his birthday tomorrow. My young man. He's going to be 36.
I'm not.
He's still a baby.
I'm a baby. Oh, get out of here. Shut up. I look older than you do.
I know, and I am older. That's the funny bit. It runs in the genes. I'm always going to look young. Okay, I love you guys. Bye.